All right. Okay. So let me just quickly just run down whatever it was that I was saying. So basically, okay, so I was just saying that when I announced my resignation from the United Democratic Party today, it caught my attention that the first few comments that came my way subsequent to my post was all about some sort of a warning for me, telling me that, or I will be insulted by the UDP, that they would make disparaging comments about me, they would make unfounded allegations about me. This was what came out. So I was just saying whilst I was outside, and that was before you guys commented that you couldn't hear me clearly, that I have learned from a very young age, and I think my mother instilled this into me because I remembered something that happened, in my personal life, and she said those words to me, and they've stuck with me ever since. And sometimes people ask me how I manage to get on with life regardless of the distractions around me. But I have always concluded that the people that love you will always love you. The people that believe in you will always believe in you, regardless of the status quo, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of whatever changes. So it does not matter your detractors. It does not matter the distraction. It does not matter, the obstacles or the people that will try to throw stones at you or on your way. If the very few people that continue to believe in you, that continue to share your views, that know in depth who you are, will continue to believe in you. And I did try to cite an example where I said that even where you have done something that they are not in approval of, even where you've done something that they may not subscribe to, they will chastise you, they will correct you with love, but they will still believe in you and the ideals and things you stand for. And it's the opposite. If a person does not believe in you, if a person does not like you, there's nothing that you can do to convince them to change. If a person has a grudge against you, if a person just looks at you and hates you, it takes eternity, and I would dare say it takes a spiritual intervention for them to change their perspective of you. So even whereas they need something from you, or even whereas a moment or a situation arises where they have to really come to you, they have to deal with you, it would be temporarily. It would be a temporal state of mind. It does not mean that they accept you. It does not mean that they want you. And it does not mean that they believe in you. So I have always consistently tried to explain to people that do you, be you, and regardless of what is said about you, it becomes immaterial. So the people that believe in you will believe in you. Those that don't believe in you won't believe in you. But you have to be steadfast in your truth. You have to be steadfast in your belief. And you should be ready to defend your belief at any time. I think it was Nelson Mandela in the book Long Walk to Freedom, where he was quoted as saying that, I have always fought against black domination. I have always fought against white domination. I have always believed and lived for a free and emancipated South Africa. He says, these are ideals and principles I have always lived for. And these are principles I would be ready to die for. And that is who I am as a person. If I want something, I work for it. If I can't have it, I am ready to fight for it. And if I still can't have it, I'm ready to lay my life down. I'm ready to die for it. I'm a very decisive person. Very decisive person. And it does not matter the comments. It does not matter the disparaging comment. These are things that don't affect me. I'm a very focused person. Yes, sometimes I could be very... my friend would tell me I love to defend it. Oh, God. I'm sorry, can you guys just give me 1 minute? Jaden, Jaden, I'm downstairs. You can come downstairs, Jaden. I'm sorry, guys. So basically, that's who I am. So today, I saw all the comments. Some are even questioning. I saw some comments saying, "Oh, but you were never one of us." Some said, or show me your party membership card. You see, but I have always said, and my argument will still be the same, that is not the United Democratic Party. That is a set of individuals within the party that you cannot control, you cannot curtail. It's like football fans. No matter the laws, no matter the criminalization of racist remarks, no matter the fines attached, you would still have pockets of disgruntled elements that would say certain things. Are you going to give them the attention? No. These people have consistently allowed for the UDP party to be branded as a party that insults, that a party that thrives itself in going after people, to an extent that people are even scared to leave the UDP because they're worried about the insults, they're worried about the backlash. Well, Melville Roberts does not care about the insults. I don't give a damn about the backlash. I stand on my principles and I stand on my belief. Do I still respect the leadership of the United Democratic Party? Absolutely. I don't have any personality issues. And people that know me would tell you squarely that I am able to distinguish between personalities and issues. If I have an issue with a person, I will deal with that squarely. It will be heated, it will be fiery, I will make my point. It does not mean the next day I'm not going to sit and share things with you. It does not mean the next day is going to change my respect or my love for you. No, it doesn't. Because that's an issue and we deal with it. It's got nothing to do with personality. When it comes to issues of personality, we will deal with personalities at that level. But when it comes to issues, we deal with them squarely. Now, I just wanted to say that my belief is that the UDP cannot continue to always criticize the incumbent. The UDP must demonstrate in both rhetoric, in theory, in practical terms, and even in the abstract, that what they say is what they believe in. It is what they believe in. So a party such as the UDP, a formidable opposition party in the Gambia, if every single sector of Gambia is raising awareness and bringing an issue of national importance to the forefront, and UDP has made an endorsement as a party on this particular individual that was the principal, that orchestrated, that supervised all these issues that we're dealing with regards to the Janet Commission. Albeit they are allegations for now, but these are grounded allegations that I believe the UDP should not give a blind eye to. Now, let me make a correction. I am not saying that the UDP should automatically withdraw their endorsement, but I believe the UDP must listen to the voice of the masses. The UDP cannot pick and choose what issues to address and which ones to give a blind eye to. That cannot happen. If genuine members of the party are saying that you must withdraw the endorsement of Batambedu, I expect that the UDP leadership will come out. Even where they do not want to withdraw the endorsement, they would offer to the membership an explanation of why they have decided not to withdraw the endorsement. I cannot continue to believe that the UDP is unaware. I have followed the UDP for a number of years, and I have seen how they have responded to certain things that I even feel were such petty politics. But the UDP would make a statement. Either the Central Committee through their PRO, through the spokesperson, through Tombong Sedi, there will be a statement. Something something would come out. They would say something. But with this particular issue of Batambedu, the UDP have just decided to go silent. To an extent that certain people are making inference that the reason the UDP is silent on this issue is because they're complicit. That's an unfair statement. But again, you cannot blame the people that are making these inferences. Now, my point is, I am not saying by and force you must withdraw the investment. I don't have that right. I can only voice out my opinion. But if I voice out that opinion, an opinion which I know other members of the party share, but probably don't have the wherewithal that I have to come out publicly and say, I should believe that the UDP should be in a position where they can offer some sort of clarity, offer some sort of explanation to its members why they would still continue to uphold the endorsement of Batambedu. The UDP has not done that. And I, as a person, cannot continue to share and align myself with that. That is all. I've not insulted the UDP. I've not discredited the party. I am just saying that a party that is in opposition should be able to demonstrate now, factually and squarely, that they are ready to fight corruption at any level. That is what I believe in. That is what I believe in. That shows leadership. So a leadership shouldn't be silent on issues of pressing national importance. We saw how people took up to the streets, how people went outside to do whatever it was they did. Now, I see a very interesting point being made, and I think I should say that as well. The UDP did not. The UDP, if I'm right, I would want somebody to correct me in the comment. Did the UDP endorse Mobutu Tangara when he was running for the position of Commonwealth Secretary General? I see Sehu Sedili is watching, and Sehu Sedili is a moving archive when it comes to these things. So Sehu, if you can just help me and just comment. Did the UDP endorse Tangara? I want to make a point, but I just want to make sure my point is factual. Did the UDP endorse Tangara? Can any UDP member just let me know by way of comments? I'm going to see if I can read the comments. And there's just a comment I want to make. Did the UDP as a party endorse the candidacy of Tangara? I'm still waiting for the comments before I continue. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments, but I'm not too sure. But if I'm right, say okay, no, the party didn't. Now, I want to do a comparative analysis. Now, the party did not endorse Tangara. The party did not endorse Tangara. Now, the reason why the party did not endorse Tangara, from some of the comments I saw, was that Tangara was associated to a tyrannical regime, which is the Jammeh regime. So, UDP never said anything. Now, Tangara, I have never seen, and maybe if people have seen, they can come out. I have never seen Tangara involved in any manner of fraud or anything to do with public funds. I've never seen that. All I saw was that Tangara worked for Yahya Jammeh. But again, remember, when the coalition government came into being, and where the UDP was part of that coalition, and UDP was a very important component of that coalition. That was when Tangara was elevated from an ambassador in New York and brought to the Gambia to serve as a state minister. So you can see the argument I'm trying to make. That the UDP did not endorse Tangara. But at a time when the UDP had a strong say in the activities of government, when there was no discord between UDP and Adama Barrow, Tangara was elevated from his position in New York as the permanent rep to the United Nations and brought back to the Gambia as a state minister. As a state minister. Lawyer Dabo, other prominent members, Uncle Amadou Sane, other prominent members of the UDP shared that cabinet with Tangara. So, the UDP not endorsing Tangara was very ironical because UDP did not see anything wrong with Tangara. At that moment, they were elevating him and giving him the position of minister, which he still serves today. The UDP did not see anything wrong with Tangara at that time, at that moment. In fact, they celebrated Tangara for his contribution to ending dictatorship in the Gambia. And I know this absolutely. Now, Batambedu, on the other hand, is being called out for how the Janet Commission was handled. How assets belonging to the former president that we are now told belongs to every Gambian was handled. But the UDP quickly endorsed Batambedu, who in fact was no more a serving member of cabinet and had resigned. What was the basis and selective endorsement of Batambedu against Tangara? How can this make sense to me that is going to think outside the box? It's very easy for people to hide behind the UDP never appointed Tangara. It was Adama Barrow that appointed Tangara. But that is a lie. You know, me, I'm not going to mince my word. It is a blatant lie. Because it was not Adama Barrow that appointed Tangara. It was the coalition government that appointed Tangara. And the UDP was an integral part of the coalition government. So to say now, when it suits you, when things are good, when developments are good, they would say that it was Lawyer Dabo that did this and this when he was vice president. It was Lawyer Dabo that did this and this when he was foreign minister. But when it does not align with the dictates of the UDP, they will say it was Adama Barrow. That is inconsistency, hypocritical, and a blatant lie. It is a blatant lie. You cannot choose to be selective with regards to the admission of things that happen in the coalition government. It is not possible. It cannot be selective. It cannot be selective. No, Babukar, you're absolutely wrong. This has got nothing to do with Tangara. And I'll tell you for sure that if it had anything to do with Tangara, I'll be the first person to say that it has got something to do with Tangara, because at the end of the day, UDP does not feed me. I don't feed UDP, and UDP does not pay my bills. There's nobody on social media that pays my bills. There's no one on social media that feeds me. I will speak my mind unapologetically at any point in time. So no, it is not, absolutely not about Tangara. I'm just trying to draw a correlation because of a comment I saw. Because of a comment I saw. And I'll tell you this, Babukar. There is no person that can tell me what happened at those moments when those appointments were done, because I was in government and I know how it happened. I'm just a person that I respect the oath I took as a civil servant, and I choose to keep my mouth shut. But the day I'm forced to speak, I will speak. And there's nobody that can convince me that the UDP was not an integral part in those early appointments in Barrow's cabinet, regardless of the fact that Barrow was the appointing authority. Yes, Barrow was the appointing authority. He still is the appointing authority, but we all know that the appointing authority was influenced by people who were in politics way before Adam Barrow. And that is the fact. And that is the fact. Yeah, take it, I'm coming. I'm coming to take it, okay? That is the fact. Nobody will convince me otherwise. And if people want proof, I can even give them tangible proof because I was there. It's common sense. It doesn't take rocket science for anybody to tell me that Adam Barrow knew every single member, every single director, every single ambassador, every single person that was appointed. That's a lie. It's a blatant lie. And we all know it's a lie. You cannot score or make political points on lies. Nobody can do that. We all know what happened. We were all there and we all have a thinking ability. Our cognitive power of reasoning is still there and nobody can convince us otherwise. So yes, Adam Barrow is the appointing authority. We all know that. We all know that. But at that point in time, we know that Adam Barrow was not Adam Barrow making substantively the appointments. We all know that he had a group of advisors. We know that he had people that recommended people to him because he couldn't and didn't have the expertise at that time. And no, it's not an insinuation. It's fact. It's fact. Babakar Jame, I'm telling you, it is factual. It is factual. I can tell you that it is factual. I can lay my life down and tell you that even ambassadorship positions were recommended by Mr. Dabo. Let's call a spade now. I was having my life and I was going to talk about something else, but certain individuals are derailing me. So let's speak on that. I can tell you for sure. Do you know why Femi Peters was not sent to the United Kingdom as an ambassador, was sent to Sierra Leone? Do you want us to talk about that? You think we don't know? Don't let us go that way. Don't let us go that route because nothing is going to come out of it. All they will do is saga and death. And me, saga does not do jack for me. But we will speak the truth. I'm alive, Jaden. Sit up. Yes, I'm alive. And you just woke up. Yeah. But anyways, I will not digress again. Let me go back to the point I was trying to make. The point I'm trying to make, and one which I will defend to the letter, is that I will not be part of a party membership that continues to endorse the candidacy of Batambedu, period. And that is my right to do. It goes against my belief. It goes against my principles. It goes against everything that I believe in. Everything that I believe in. It goes against it. Take that. You've not showered yet. I don't want you to pee on that, okay? Okay? I'm coming. It's not based on facts. Now, let's go back to my substantive point. I am not a dogmatic follower. I don't follow blindly anything. I've got my cognitive ability. I've got my power of reasoning. And I will think and speak for myself. And there's nobody that can stifle my voice. No one. That person is not yet born. I will speak my mind unapologetically at all times. And I don't care whoever thinks differently. I've never had an agenda. I've never had an agenda. There are UDP members that have got agendas. They have political objectives to follow. I'm not one of them. I've never had any. I've never had any. I've been consistent in my pronouncements. When Lawyer Dabo came out and declared that he never bought any of Jammeh's assets, I was the first person to go out and celebrate him. The first person to go out and do that. When the UDP was celebrating a high court ruling, I came out and challenged the leadership of the UDP and the entire membership. And I said, be careful of celebrating small victories. I said, be careful of celebrating small victories. I said, because when the real things come, when the real issues come to the table, you would not be able to cry foul, because you have already propagated, you have already made a name for the independent brand of the judiciary. I've said that. And it happened when little things like the Yakumba stuff happened and the UDP reversed, that there was a clarion celebration. But what happened? When it came to the real crunch and on some technicalities, the UDP petition failed at the Supreme Court. And then the UDP membership went out to cry about the lack of independence of the judiciary. And I said to them, you see, I reminded you. I told you. So the point I'm trying to make is that I cannot, me as a person, it's got nothing to do with the UDP. That is the UDP. If they want to continue, that is their right. It is their right. The UDP can continue to endorse Batambedu, but I feel that this was a beautiful opportunity. A beautiful opportunity for the UDP to come out and say, you know what? We have heard the masses. We are listening to what people are saying. And we will look at this endorsement. We will reverse. We will not only reverse, we would assess the endorsement. And if we feel that we are going to stick by the endorsement, we will come back to the party militants and we will give you for our reasons for doing so. But not to give it a blind eye. Not to make it appear that there is selective questioning, there is selective accountability. That there are people that would be held accountable and there are people that would not be held accountable. That because of a person has clout, a person is of a certain clan, a certain class. That is not right. It is not right. When certain members were pitching Talib against Yankuba, I didn't sit back and hold my hands. I didn't care who would insult me. I came out and I spoke my mind. I said what I had to say. I made enemies. Some people in the Talib camp never spoke to me again. Some that were my Facebook friends decided to unfriend me. I do not care. I do not care. I still spoke my mind and I still will speak my mind because UDP does not feed me. Not the membership of the UDP, not the party militants. If I had any interest, I will align myself with the NPP. Because they're the party in power, they're the incumbent. When I decided to endorse Lawyer Dabo and when I decided to become a member of the United Democratic Party, they were not in office. Lawyer Dabo had been fired by then. But I have always said, when people come out to say that the UDP is a Mandinka party, I stood on every public platform to say that is not true. That the UDP is not a Mandinka party and that the UDP is a very embracing party, and I still stand by that and I still believe it. I still believe it. It's not because I'm leaving the UDP. I'm leaving the UDP on principle. And if the UDP leadership decide tomorrow that they will withdraw their endorsement for Batambedo, I will come back to the UDP. Because that is my principle and that's what I believe. That is what I believe. I believe the UDP should lead by example. I believe that the UDP should set the record straight. I believe that the UDP should demonstrate leadership, that they should show that they will hold any Gambian accountable regardless of your designation. That is what I believe. And that is what I stand for. I will not be a party to things that go against and contrary to my belief and my principles. Why should I? Because people will insult me. Like, who cares? I will not. I will not. If tomorrow, and I'm saying this publicly, if tomorrow the party decide to look into the issue of Batambedu and withdraw the endorsement, I will come back to where I left. Because I left on the principle that I cannot be a party. Because the endorsement of the UDP political party affects me as an individual member. It is not just the leadership. It is not lawyer Usainu Dabo and the executive that endorsed Batambedu. They said the entire membership of the UDP are endorsing Batambedu. I am part of that membership and I cannot endorse Batambedu. So I will resign until that time that I can align myself with the party. Babukan, can you restart your phone? Because that's the same thing that happened with Omar yesterday. When you restart your phone, then it will allow me to add you. Just restart your phone. So I did that yesterday. I had the same issue with Omar. So this is what we're saying. I will not, and I cannot subscribe to that. And I believe the party must listen. Because we defended the party. You know how many times people have insulted me because of Lawyer Dabo. You know how many times people have approached me from the ruling party, National Assembly members, cabinet ministers, people with different designation. They have approached me and I've consistently said no. Because it goes against my values and belief. I've said I will not align myself to a party that is suppressing me. I will not. And that's what I said. And that still stands until that is lifted. That is my belief. And I had somebody today said to me that, oh, do I have a personal grievance? Of course, yes, I have a personal grievance against anyone that tries to steal public money and public funds. I have a personal grievance. And if you don't have a personal grievance against anybody that is alleged to have squandered millions of Gambian taxpayers' dollars, then something is wrong with you and you got to look at yourself in the mirror. I do have a problem. I'm not going to shy away from it. I have a personal problem, personal grievance. Personal grievance. So that is the fact. I'm not hiding it. Who says it's wrong to have a personal grievance? Who said that? I have a personal grievance against thieves, against murderers, against rapists, liars. I have a personal grievance against them. And I stand by it. Including people who siphon public funds and divert it for their personal use. I have a personal grievance against them. If you don't, that is your prerogative. That is your business. But I do. And I stand by it. And I think every organization, be it political affiliation or otherwise, that I align myself and my principles and my belief to should be ready to go against them. Oh, I don't know why it's saying I can't add you. Let me see if I can. I don't know why it just does this. It did the same thing with Omar yesterday. It says unable to add at this time. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's from your end because if I try to add, if I try to add somebody else, I'm sure it will go. Let me see. Let me see if I can add somebody else just as a tester. No, it's saying I can't add you. I don't know why. I don't know if it's me or not, but it's saying I can't add you. So that is the point. And my position still stands with the government of the Gambia. I believe the government of the Gambia must withdraw their endorsement of Batambedu. I believe so, absolutely. You have a parliamentary inquiry that is going on, and one of the key witnesses of the parliamentary inquiry that have been summoned, that we saw in the front page of the newspaper today, is Batambedu. Yet still the government is endorsing his sterling qualities to be an ICJ judge. That's such an oxymoron. It's a complete oxymoron. Complete oxymoron. Move away. I don't want you to this thing now. You know? On the front page of the newspaper, they are summoning somebody for witness to come and answer about the concerns that every Gambian is raising about how millions and millions of Gambian dollars was diverted or stolen or siphoned or whatever it is. And yet still, correspondingly, the state is endorsing the candidacy of that individual. How ironical. So yes, I believe the state too is duty bound to withdraw that. But the point I am trying to make is, I will not be scared to make my position known because somebody will insult me or somebody will think otherwise of me. Boy, that is too cheap. I will not be. I will not be. And let me explain this. I'm going to speak on a personal issue now. In 2019, yes, it's coming on now. Sorry, I'm just trying to add Babukar. It's now it's adding. I think Babukar is your connection. You see, it's not me. Stop blaming me.
blame Africell. Bros.
Yes, sir.
I really, like, I've never done this. I've never done any join anybody's life, but I feel like this is a very it's a critical one. It's a very important one, and a lot of people are watching. It's an important discussion to have, and all I'm trying to say, we are all on Facebook here, right? And you're my Facebook friend, and I'm pretty sure since this news broke, you've been following a lot of UDP people, including myself. So I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm pretty sure you've known my stance from day one. And if we can go all the way back to when this initial endorsement happened, I was on record, and many other UDP people that I know. UDP is that kind of party. Not everyone toes the line when it comes to ideological differences and, you know, things of this nature, of these endorsements. I said, what the hell has he done here? So I was never, like, you know what I'm saying, I have my reservations when that first endorsement happened, and I questioned it, why, what compelled the whole endorsement. Lo and behold, a few months later, this broke. And I'm not the only one. I know quite a few UDP people that are also exactly towing the same line that you're towing. Why this endorsement, and it needs to be revoked. When Madi Jobate and the Edward Francis organization revoked the endorsement the day after, I commended it, and many other UDP people do the same thing, that this what should happen. Unfortunately, being in a big organization like UDP with so many moving parts, so many, the executive is almost how many, 50 something members. And we have meeting schedules. Okay, executive meets at this time, that time, that time. We don't just come and have extraordinary meetings and just meet out of the blue. These are all internal politics, internal mechanisms of the UDP that are out there. Okay, maybe the meeting calendar hasn't reached, because this was like almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, right? Sort of, right? Maybe there's a possibility the meeting calendar is not there for the executive to cover convergence of the entire executive membership of 50 something members from Kwena to whatever to Banjul. Yes, members will travel from all the way down to come for these meetings. So it's not something that just happens over the blue, like out of the blue. And I don't think this issue also called for an extraordinary meeting where the party will stop everything and just come and jump on this. I don't think it reached that magnitude. But the membership, I can swear to you, a lot of us have raised our concerns. A lot of us are concerned about this Jana Commission. I made a live video going after this. I called the question. I said, people died for this for this change. People's life were lost. People lost limbs, eyes, exile, everything for this change to happen. And for these lawyers, these people like Bartemides and all these guys who nobody ever heard of during the struggle. Exactly. Okay? Not a single endorsement, not a single letter. I'm on record. I'm not gonna hide. I did a live on this. I said for them to come and we entrust them with disposing of these properties. Okay, because this at the core of what I'm talking about right now. Okay, people died for this change to get back our wealth from Jammeh's, basically splurging of our money, right? Okay, that's at the core of why we were fighting. And after achieving that victory, we need to rebuild our country with money. It was in the Jammeh Commission, it was disclosed to us that Jammeh took $1 billion he loan from Social Security and then spent it in Kanilai. So if you dispose of those properties in Kanilai and all those assets, shouldn't they be going back to replenish those coffers at Social Security and other places? So this is at the core of why the change happened. So to bring these people and then did what they have to do, okay, it's a crime of the highest level, in my opinion. Regardless of who is involved, how affiliated I do with UDP, I do not care. At this point, that's it for me. Okay. So what I'm trying to plead to you, or what I'm trying to explain to you in my comments, was that you are not alone. You were never ignored. Your voice was not a lone voice. There's hundreds of you just thinking just like you in UDP that are on the same mission as you are. All I asked was a bit of patience and to see that there's something bigger, okay, that we are fighting for. There's something much more graver, much more important, in the future, which is basically trying to get rid of this government. And one of the mechanisms we use in a democracy is using political parties to do so. And being the biggest political party has the biggest chance to dislodge the system, so we can clean it up and then get the country back where we want to get it back to. So that mission, to me, is bigger than what we are dealing with today with Bartemides. I believe that. Yes, what the Bar and the Jammeh Commission did is a grave disservice to the Gambian people and a betrayal of our trust. But what we are facing, to me, is far greater than what we are dealing with Bar. So to have a little more patience for the party, I am not a you know that. Nobody holds me in that pocket. I've never benefited any transfer from UDP. I give, but I don't take.
Let me just say something.
Yes.
You know what is my problem?
Yes.
Like you say, people that know us know that we are always on social media. We're jumping from one post to the other.
Yeah.
I have seen so many issues that I have seen the UDP address without having a central committee meeting. Even to a point that where I sometimes would get angry and say, like, why would Tombong respond to somebody making a private comment? We've seen it. We've seen it.
Well, the distinction, the magnitude is different. The magnitude is a bit different.
Yeah, the
Tombong replying to, let's say, comments.
But Babukan, you know all I'm asking for? You know what all I'm asking for? Do not give a blind eye. You could reassure the membership to say that we have heard your concerns. We are looking into it. We will make a decision. The party will take a concrete position substantively based on the light of everything that is happening, which is taking a national, turn, a national dimension, because everybody, to an extent that a parliamentary committee has already been set up. That's all I expected. But the silence is deafening.
Well, fair point. Okay. A message of assurance, a message of saying, okay, we are working.
And let me tell you this. You know why I never joined the NPP? And all of them are here. You can ask Sekou Marong that is serving in Morocco.
Yeah.
You can ask Sabali. You can ask other state ministers. I have always refused. I said I will never join the NPP because I will never join a party that is suppressing me.
Yep.
The NPP is an incumbent party. You think if I joined the NPP, I wouldn't have had some perks that would come with it? I'm not that stupid or that dumb, but I refused on principle.
Definitely.
Let me tell you something again. When those rape allegations came out, then I was serving in government. And then there was the break between UDP and Adam Barrow. You know what happened then? It was the same UDP militants that was taking my pictures with the First Lady and accusing me because they wanted to get to Barrow. They were using me. But when I decided to join the UDP, I never looked at that, because to me, those things are frills. Substantively, what I believe in was the leadership of the UDP. What I believed in was the principles that the UDP stand for. What I believed in was the objectives of the UDP. And if I feel that it has come to a point where the objectives and the stance, the ideology, the principle is not aligning to something I'm seeing tangibly, and I said the only way I can do is disassociate myself.
Well, so your point is clearly understood here. Okay? And I believe in your heart of hearts, all these principles that you just mentioned here, our stance on corruption, our principles, our 20-something years of fighting for the truth, irrespective of all the struggles that we went through, I'm pretty sure you still firmly believe that this is the case. I don't believe that you, Melville, is going to take this Bartambedu case and basically forget about everything that you just mentioned. Yes, it's a misstep. And you are not the only voice in UDP that has expressed concerns about this. That's what I'm trying to make it understand. You are not alone. We are all with you. Okay? We could have waited a little bit more. Like I said, yes, you said the party could have made a little statement saying, yes, we heard your concerns. We've heard our memberships on Facebook. They've seen it. You think they didn't know? They've seen it. Okay? They could put out a statement. So these are all teaching moments to me. I don't believe in so much in the finger pointing. I believe in mistakes getting corrected. So I consider this as a teaching moment where we can learn more about our communication methods. We can more about modern communication methods to understand that this is not 1996. This is not 2006. Yep. Times have changed. We are living in a real-time information age. Our phones, our TikToks, everything. Things are blowing. News breaks today before the boy in corner, in the farms is acutely aware of everything that happens within seconds. 10 years ago, that's not the case. Nope. You're gonna have a big wahala here. Somebody in Darasuma might have no idea what's going on. But that's not the case anymore. Is the party adopting to this new reality? We are here to see that. We could do better when it comes to on-time communication, engaging people's moods in real time as quickly as possible and responding to it. This is a teaching moment that we will learn from it. I will do my best to communicate with the communication team, give my opinion to the people that matter. I am not part of the executive membership. I'm a strong, supporter, and for a long time, but I'm not an executive member. Okay, I will pass on this information to bridge the gap. Sometimes there's a generational gap. They don't understand that the way we consume information is different from their generation. Okay, you are dealing with people from all walks of life. Omar, come here, Mama, listen to your programs. That generation don't have time to wait. And I understand. And that's exactly where you're coming from. My only plea is we could be a little more patient and understand that we are dealing with a very large organization. So many moving parts. so many protocols here and there. This guy go, this guy read. You're hip. So we could do better on that. But to say that we are painting a blind eye on injustice after knowing what happened, the revelations of Amina Saho, all of that stuff is illogical to think that UDP in their right mind will endorse something like that and then act like that didn't happen. Wallahi, that's not true. So I understand, tempers are high. This is like a how do you call it? Because this whole thing, bro, it's been 3 weeks now, right? Since the arrest and the revelations and the protest. I was at the protest with the kids.
Yeah,
I didn't show face that much because I don't want to hijack anything. I was behind the scenes trying to be a peacemaker.
I think you said that, or you made a comment or something like that. I saw.
Yeah, I was there. All these places. I just didn't want to show on camera that much because I don't want to. Oh yeah, they are here. UDP people trying to hijack shit. You know what I mean? I know this game, so I will stay behind the scenes trying to be a peacemaker most of the time. Okay, so that tells you that we are not sitting down. People like Sirifo Sonko went to prison for this, was arrested for this. He's UDP. You think he's going to endorse Batambedu? No. And you know this. So all I was asking for a bit more patience. And I am happy that you said on record that if the party comes back again and reconsiders their position of, rescinding the endorsement of Batambedu, you will change your mind. Alhamdulillah. That's good because, a mind that doesn't change is a mind that doesn't grow. Okay, our mind our lives are a flowing river. It never stays constant. If it stays constant, it start getting smelly, murky, and dirty. So yes, I'm not admonishing you. I respect your opinion, and I hope that the door that you left open right now to come back if the party reconsiders their decision to endorse Batambedu, which by all means cannot stand. And we've made that clear to them. Many of us, not me alone, a lot of other party members are with the same idea. And I believe at some point the party will listen. So all I'm asking you, a bit more patience. It's a learning moment. It's a teaching moment that we should have been, even if you haven't rescinded an endorsement, we can put out a statement and say, yes, we heard you. We heard you. We'll do something about it. If that had happened, maybe you wouldn't have made this decision. So that's a teaching moment. Party is going to hear it. The people that are responsible are going to hear it. Take that from me.
But like how many? You were seeing. You're on my Facebook. You know how many insults I've received because of the party leader.
Okay.
You know how many?
No.
So it's so interesting when I see people making comments saying, "Oh, he was never part of us." I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not bothered about those little comments.
I'm now. We're talking here, Mel. Okay. You and I'll look at you more of a social anthropologist. You know Gambia very, very well. You've lived here. You educated here. You went out. You saw, and you lived in the civil service. You are much more rounded than people like us who have never probably lived in Gambia for most of our adult lives. Okay, so I shouldn't be the one telling you who our people are, Gambians in general. This irrespective of every party have their own. We have our own problems, and then you need to understand also. Like I said, you are a social commentator, and I also consider you as an anthropologist. You know our people, okay? This social medium that just opened up in 2017. Before 2017, nobody comes here and talk shit. Stuff like, sorry, excuse my language, okay? Everybody was careful what to say. It was just
I want you to go to my timeline. I'll tell you something, and I don't think people know this. Sometimes, okay, I have this Aku thing. I don't like to talk a lot because I just feel I talk about my policy. I don't like to divulge private things. You see, in 2016, they set up is it Creole Society or Aku community or whatever. And I'm gonna bring this thing up. They're on my timeline. You just have to go on my activity. Just go to 2016 December when they endorsed Yaya Jammeh. I came out publicly to say that I, as an Aku, was not part of that endorsement. And this was on Facebook, and I lived in Gambia at the time. I'll tell you something that Gambians don't know. You remember the audio that came out during the impasse when Colonel Tamba was telling the soldiers that they should cross the border and join the economic forces. I'll tell you something that, yeah?
Kadilai?
In Kanila, yeah.
You're from Kanila, yeah.
I'll tell you something that nobody knows today. And Colonel Tamba is the wife of Binta Tamba, the ex-wife of ST. And he is alive. It was me and him having that conversation. I cropped his voice out and put it out and sent it to the radio station. And I was in Gambia. I never left Gambia during the impasse.
Yeah.
That was a conversation I had with him.
Very good.
You know, people don't know this. I'll tell you something else that Gambians don't know. And Halifa Sallah is alive. He's not dead. And I know Halifa Sallah is a man of character and a man of truth. He can come out to say that Melville is lying. When that soldier went to State House, not State House, Kairaba Hotel, when Barrow was just elected with a pistol, it was me that they called. There is this guy, you know the guy, you know where a Kairaba shopping center is, where the nightclub was, what the nightclub owned by Aziz. You know Kairaba shopping center on Battle Highway.
I know there.
You know the Syrian guy that owns it, the Lebanese guy.
Oh yeah. Was something Tajudin here.
I was with him. Ask him. I was with him. I went to Kairaba, and when I told them what was happening, they asked me to see Adam Barrow in Kairaba Hotel in the office. I was with him. He is alive. And when I spoke to Adam Barrow, he said to me, "Go and tell Halifa." And I called Uncle Halifa and I told him. It was on the news the next day that the guy was arrested with a pistol, and the guy said he came to give his to show his allegiance to Barrow. That news, people have to go back. So people don't know, they don't understand. I don't fear the things I stand for.
So that's why.
And people don't know all these things because I've never said it.
I'm like I said, I'm blown away actually. Well, from what
I've never said it.
No, I understand, and it's good sometimes to put these things across. So, and that's exactly why this is a time for cooler heads to prevail. Okay, you mentioned, yes, there will be people that are coming and saying things. Musulaneka UDP, blah blah blah. You will see those kind of things. So what I'm trying to tell you, Moy, focus on the bigger picture. Okay, this is Facebook, this is social media. We are all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds, from all kinds of kids, from all kinds of Yarokai, or bringing. You're gonna have everything. Not everybody is gonna be cool-headed, maybe like you, and you'll hear words that I can guarantee you for sure. But somebody's gonna come piss you off. I get it too. One time I've had my fair share of stuff, even within and outside. So all I'm trying to say is, don't use that as a yardstick. No. I'm
gonna try. I will try not to get into that because it was happening. You're right. It was happening this morning. I mean, somebody told me something to a point. I was exchanging, and later I sat down and I read my exchange with them, my comment. I was like, you know what? I'm starting to disrespect the party and everything I believe in. It speaks more of me. Because what can I say? Why did I align with them in the first place? So I realized I just saw Sehu Jen just tagged me on a post that Eunice Hyder made saying that I was serving Jammeh. I never walked on the Jammeh, not for a single day.
So what I'm trying to say, Moy, let's just basically understand that it's coming. Please, let it go. The most important key point here, takeaway here is today what you said. And that's what I will take at heart. That's what I will communicate to whoever I'm communicating with at the executive level. That, yes, you followed your heart, your conscience, and made this decision. But it doesn't mean you have any disrespect towards the party. You still believe in the principles of the party. That's why you joined. And Batambi cannot change that. This Batambi issue can never erase that. And if a party comes out and do the right thing by rescinding this endorsement, like many of their party members are calling for, you will definitely have a rethink.
No, even if they don't rescind, and this is what I want to make very clear. I am not a dictator. I cannot dictate to them. But even if they don't rescind, I expect that the party would dignify the voices of the masses. They would show the masses that, you know what, we are hearing your concerns. Yes, for so and so, for A, Y, and B, we may not be able to rescind, but your voice, your concerns are being taken on board, not the silence.
Thank you.
For me, the silence is an insult.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate this. And I think this conversation is what, because I was typing, and this was social media. I was typing. You were responding. You see, it was getting crazy. But conversations will bring out basically the logic. Okay. And I really appreciate the time you gave me. And I also felt I should, like I said, normally I don't jump on people's, but this one is really, really critical. It's a lot of people that are watching, and a lot of misconceptions and, prejudice can grow out of this if we're not careful. Because definitely they will say, okay, wow, okay, so he was a member and he left because of this principle. So which means, because if you look at it, it's two things. If you leave because of then that means UDP automatically is endorsing corruption, is endorsing pillaging of people's wealth, the same people that they were fighting for the past 27, 28 years. So that is illogical. That cannot happen. And all I'm trying to say is understand that we will take this as a learning curve, like a learning opportunity. I look at every opportunity as that. We learn from it. Communication-wise, we are living in a day like I say, years of communication. So these are times that we should be much more proactive in communicating with the masses, especially during when the protest was at its peak. I think the party could have made this kind of pronouncements to calm people down and understand their principles have never changed. They are never here to endorse or to hide, okay, to shield people that are accomplice to crimes against the Gambian people. And I think financial crimes are the most dangerous crimes, than even more dangerous than violent crimes, because it affects thousands and thousands of more people than violent crimes. So I appreciate your, definitely your opportunity to come and give me the chance to come and talk to you. And I really appreciate you also opening up and telling me in detail exactly why you left, and then what can be the remedy. Because without the remedy, we are in limbo. You don't know what the hell's going on. Like, okay, what do I do? Because I'm pretty sure Uncle Useno would, right now, he's sitting there like, you are his guy, okay? You know your relationship with him. So
see, in my life,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. I said that in the letter, at the resignation post I made. In my lifetime, in my lifetime, I will never use one disparaging remark against that man for as long as I live. And I've said this to even people that tried to get me to go into the NPP. I said, even if I were to come to the NPP, I will never publicly ridicule, insult, or put the character of Usedu Dabo on the line. And these are things I say publicly, because these are things I believe in. There is no political affiliation that would make me disparage Usedu Dabo. It's not humanly possible. Has he ever given me money? No. Has he ever given me one piece of bread? No. No, he's never given me anything. He can hear me. I'm here publicly. Nothing, absolutely.
But what I can tell you, he has great respect for you.
I know.
So this pronouncement definitely is gonna cause him some discomfort, and you know this. I mean,
when people are telling me, when I joined the UDP, people were telling me it's a Mandinka party. Say who said he will tell me this. They said to me it's a Mandinka party. I stood at the Congress in London, and I said to them, and I addressed the whole militant, including Usainu Dabo. He was sat right there. And I said, I have never met a man that is so far away from being a tribalist. Because I'm not a Mandinka. I'm Aku. And I've seen this man walk with me and given me so much respect, so much honor. And not one single day have I ever been singled out or felt that I was not part of it or I did not belong because of my ethnicity. I will say it loud and clear. Absolutely. And that's the fact. I was not making it up. I was speaking the truth. Speaking the truth. I traveled with this man. We were going to Addis Ababa to attend the heads of government meeting in Addis. We sat at the airport in Dakar waiting to board our flight to go to Addis. This man, as he then was the foreign minister, I was with my wife at the time. This guy got up because I didn't have safer. We were at the airport very early and went to buy tea to give to Fatu. I sat there and I rushed to him and I said, no. I said, you can't do that. And he said to me, I'm not doing it for you. I'm buying it for the lady. So that's why I would tell people that when they tell to me about tribalist stuff, I worked in the foreign ministry and I don't feel there was any point in time where I was sidelined because of my tribe. There was not a single point in time when I was sidelined because I was an Aku or because I did not belong. There were times when people, political party militants, will try to circumvent my office and go directly to Mr. Dabo. He will send them back to me and tell them, go to Director Roberts, go to DPS and speak to him. And that is why I respect the man. That is why I respect the man. He never ever made me feel that he was more of a senior lawyer and he's got more experience than me. I drafted speeches for him. He would ask me questions. I would justify the reasons why I wrote certain things, and he respected them. He respected them. Me, him, and Safi Sankare worked together single-handedly to bring the Gambia back into the Commonwealth. Do people know that?
Thank you,
People know that?
And I really appreciate this. I really appreciate this testimony. There's 230 something people that are watching here, and then thousands of people that are going to watch later will hear this testimony.
Trust me, I can assure you when you get off the live, there are thousands more watching across the window. You know, all of us don't go through the front door.
But I appreciate that testimony. That was a very intimate testimony that not a lot of people would have known that. Something that had happened in the airport. It was just you, him, your wife, and Yala. That's it.
He's alive. And he's alive. If I'm lying, he will tell you Mel is lying.
So that man, that same man, is still the head of this party. And that same man that we all believe his basically integrity and his stance for poor people, that dates back to 1981 when he was the only lawyer that stood for the coup, how do you call it, the accusers of the coup d'etat, including my father. When every lawyer shut down their doors, he did it for them for free. Freed about 2,000 something accused persons, including my own father. So that same man is the same man that you were dealing with at the airport after 40 something years. Nothing has changed. I don't believe that same man is going to preside over a party again. That's going to be sitting here and then turning a blind eye to the looting and the mismanagement of our national wealth. Whoever is a party to that, I don't think that same man will preside over a party that will pay a blind eye to that. That I can assure you. How to go about it, the mechanics of it, what should happen, what we should be doing. Like I said, this will be a teaching moment, and we will learn from it. Okay, and I believe remedies will be made because, like I said, you are not the only voice within the UDP who believes this. I am on record. Wandifa and many other people. Sirifo Sonko went to police cells for about 3 days for this same issue. He's UDP. So I think a little more patience would have been better. That's my opinion. And I wished that patience was extended a little bit longer, a little more conversations with Bausin on the phone and express your concerns. But nonetheless, what happened. We heard you. And I also hope that your pledge that inshallah, if things change, you will reconsider your decision and then join us back. The bigger picture here is what's important. I'm only trying to draw you back to the bigger picture. Batambi is insignificant in this Gambia's political field. He has no clout. Nobody knows him before 2017, and nobody knows him now. All we know about him is the carnage that he left behind. That's it. So politically, totally irrelevant. Okay, when it comes to dislodging this government that's sitting right there, we are the ones that can make this change. Your voice, my voice, some other guys' voice, UDP's voice, SFR's voice, that collective voice is what's going to make us change this government. That government that's shielding corrupt people, refusing to prosecute them, and calling audit reports mere opinions. We cannot dislodge that. All we're going to be doing here, getting angry at each other for next 10 years again. Getting mad at each other, getting angry at each other, and that's it. We can't do anything because the buck stops at who? That one at State House. And he has demonstrated over the years that he doesn't have what it takes to cut out corruption and to basically safeguard our national coffers. We've seen the COVID funds disappear. We've seen multiple audit reports, the port, $400 million, whatever. It just keeps coming. Nothing's getting done about it. So let's please look at the bigger picture. Reconsider your decision, go back, sleep over it. It's okay. That same Hussein Dabo is still the party leader. UDP is a bigger, it's a massive party with so many members, so many. I don't get along with all of them. I'm gonna tell you that straight, and they know it too. Ideologically, I'm gonna share everything. Because if you look at the inception of the party, who UDP, PPP law 1, NCP, GPP. I'm sure you all enough to know the vast ideological difference between PPP and NCP at that time. And then now they're in the same room with who? A PPP that used to beat them in the bush when they were fighting electoral fraud in Jara. So now these people have to come together. Ideologically, they couldn't be far away from each other. GPP, Assam Kamara, you put them in the same room. It's true miracle that we are here. It shouldn't have survived more than 5 years. But we went through that. These people put everything aside. The pain, the tortures, like the political violence, it wasn't that clean, bro.
Yep.
We don't like to go back that far, but things happen.
Absolutely.
See? So that painful history, among them, they were able to circumvent it. They were able to surmount that challenge. And up to today. So to say that I had the same ideological, how to call it, a mindset with everybody in UDP, I'll be lying to you. Nope. Definitely no. And they know it. Everybody knows it. The party leader knows. People that have vast differences, they know it too. But I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. I still believe that the bigger picture in front of us is bigger than my differences with, say somebody else in the party. I blocked, how many UDP people I blocked? I swear, it's more than 200. Yeah. I just blocked because I don't want to be out there with you escalating things and people outside saying, oh, guy, you're end. So the best thing is mute you. I don't see you. I don't hear you. You can kill yourself. I don't care. But I'm still UDP. I'll still do my work. I'll still go in the villages. I'll still go on campaign. My car is all messed up because of this. Yes. So little please. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
I've listened to you, and like I said, no personal grievance, no personal issues. My grievance is against the endorsement of Batambedu, and I would I would stand by it. And I don't see. I think every man should have a grievance for something. If you don't have a grievance for something, you're walking cops. That's my belief.
I have the same view.
Yeah. That's my belief.
And so does a lot of people. Even this guy, Kausu Koren here, is UDP. Same view. There's plenty of us.
Yeah.
So we share the same. So I don't think we are that far away from each other. It's just a matter of mechanics, semantics, how to go about it, what way, how do you get there, how to get how to call it, point A to point B. Somebody want to take the Manjai road, I want to take the Batihari road, but I want to get to the same destination. So this is it, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that you came in here to have a conversation with me. It shows, you're a man of character, a man of integrity. Of course, I know you're a man of substance. I follow you 24/7. But this is what it's all about. It's about, a meeting of ideas. Like I always say, I don't believe in personalities. Like you rightly said, we're doing the back and forth. I was getting angry because I was like, this person is not seeing things my way. He's thinking I have a personal agenda, which I don't have. But you came on here, we've spoken, we've talked, and I'm glad to realize that you share my sentiments, my views. Our approach might be different, but the core message, the core theme is that we believe that UDP as a party must live up to expectation. They must set the bar, they must set the standards, and we must know that they are a party that is ready to take on government, a party that is ready to take on leadership, and it should be done not only in rhetoric, not only in spoken words, but we need to see that in decisive actions that the party is taking to show that accountability, transparency, and a solid fight against corruption is a mantra that the party is willing to uphold. So that is all we're really asking. And apart from that, no love lost.
Thank you. And I think everybody heard you today. This is a good one. Everybody heard you clearly, what you mean and what you stand for. And I think you'll be surprised. You share this with a whole vast majority of UDP people.
Yeah.
And vast majority of Gambians, I can say. So just have that confidence that you are not alone, your voice is not alone. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I'll just end it right here because I think everything that has to be said have been,
All right. Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much, and thanks to our viewers. Have a good evening.